Hi, this is Linear Algebra, Unit 3. We're going to do 3.1, Introduction to Determinants. You may have done some work with determinants, but we're going to try to elaborate on some other ways to compute the determinant of a 3 by 3. So you may have done this already, but we want to go ahead and use the crisscross method. I don't know what the actual terminology is, but for finding the determinant, and this is only for a 2 by 2 or 3 by 3 to use this method. So what we do is we're going to go ahead and write the first two columns again, 1, 3, negative 3. Now when we determine this, the criss means that we're going to go down here and multiply all three of those first. And so if I do this first one, it's 4 times 3 times 0, which is obviously 0. Then the next one is going to be 1, negative 1, 0. And the next three right here, 1, 2, and negative 3 would be my last one of the going down to the right. Now we're going to do the cross. We're going to go up to the right on these three and multiply each one of those respectively, but I have to subtract those off. So whenever I'm going up to the right, I subtract off. So I have the ups, it'd be 0, 3, 1, which I put here, and then negative 3, negative 1, 4, and then 0, 2, 1, right there. If I calculate those, I get 0, 12, and 0, but I have the minus here. So it's negative 6 minus 12, which would be negative 18. That would be my determinant using the crisscross method. Now for part B, we're going to introduce a different method. The different method, and we'll try to show how this works, is that you're going to alternate signs depending upon which values you do pick. So when I look at my matrix, so I'm going to use cofactor expansion across my row 1. And I've highlighted row 1 there, so the numbers that I'm going to be using are 4, 1, and 1. So those are going to be what I'm going to be multiplying a smaller determinant, which would be what I call a submatrix, for this. Now when you do this, you have to alternate your signs. So this one would be a positive, this one would be a negative, and this one would be a positive. So right here, I'm going to have to put a negative. And then I'm going to make the submatrix, and the submatrix is based upon going ahead and taking the matrix that's left over when you cross off the row and the column that the number is in. So here I have a 4. The row and the column that I'm in are those two right there. So the submatrix is what's ever left. So 3, negative 1, negative 3, 0. Now my submatrix for my 1 here would be cross off whatever's there. The remaining submatrix would be 2, negative 1, and then 0, 0. Do the same thing for the last one. We're using the 1 right here, so I cross off the row and the column that it's in, and I'm left with the 2, the 3, and the 0 and the negative 3. And we're going to add all those up. So if I do this, this is going to be 4, and then my determinant is crisscross here, so then it's going to be 0, and then 3. But it's minus 3 because we're going up to the right. So it's 4 times negative 3. Here, this is going to be negative 1 times 0. And this one's going to be 1 times negative 6. Put that all together, negative 18. Oh, that's the same thing as what we got right here. Now we can do the same thing now using columns. So I want to use column 2. So it's going to be the 1, the 3, and the negative 3. I have to determine the signs of these. Well, if I set up my full 3 by 3 matrix, it's always going to alternate. So it's going to go like this when I have this. So if I'm doing the column right here, I'm going to get a negative here, I'm going to get a positive here, and then really the opposite for this last one. So those are the values that I'm going to be using. Then determine the submatrices. For this one, this would be 2, negative 1, 0, 0. For my 3, which is the second one, it would be crisscross in the middle. I just overused the word crisscross. So then it's going to be 4, 1, 0, 0. And then for my last one, which is the the negative 3, but I made it positive because of this right here, then it's going to be the 4, 2, 1, negative 1. Now, if you look at both of these, this turns out to be 0. This turns out to be 0 because I'm doing the determinant of those matrices. By the way, if I put these straight lines, that means find the determinant of the matrix. And then this one would be plus 3. This matrix would be a negative 4 with those two. And then it would be minus 2 this way, which gives me negative 18 as well. Better turn out to be the same. Now, you might say, why is this working? And why is this plus and minus stuff? Well, if I go back up to here, look at what I have here, 4 times negative 3. And that comes from, this 4 times negative 3 comes from 4 times 3 times 0, which is that one right there, and then minus 4 times negative 3 times negative 1. Well, here's my minus, there's my negative 3, negative 1, and the 4. That's where that comes from. This negative 1 comes from, well, it's negative 1 times 2 times 0. Well, where's that? Well, that's right here. Well, why do I have the negative? Well, it's right there. So when I did this, this first part is in the minus part of my crisscross method. So that's why I had to change this sign right here, is because it's going to account for this. And then when I go back up this way, which would be minus 0 times negative 1, that's this value right here. And so minus the negative, that cancels off that, so that's why that's positive 1 times negative 1 times 0. Okay, so this is why we have the pluses and minuses, to account for things from here or from numbers from here. And that's what that's doing for us. So having this matrix handy is really useful. Now we ended up with some zeros here because we were lucky because the matrix, the determinant of these smaller matrices turned out to be 0. But let's try using row 3 here and see what happens. Well, notice the row 3 is a couple zeros and a negative 3. So that's going to be equal to 0, negative 3, and 0. Figure out this right here. Well, that means that this one would change signs, but I'm sorry, stay the same. This one stays the same, but there's 0, so it doesn't matter. But then this one's going to be the opposite. Notice if I do 0 times anything, I'm just going to get 0. So I'm not even going to calculate that one. And I'm just going to take this 3 and do the crisscross off that. And I'm going to get the 4, 2, 1, negative 1. So if I calculate that, that's just going to be my 3 times my negative minus whatever I get from that one right there, which would be minus 2, which gives me my negative 18 as well. So this is quite useful. If I have a row of zeros, that might help me a lot in trying to calculate my determinant by using the cofactor expansion method. So let's figure out a different way to get this plus and minus thing sorted out. Well, this is A11, and it's going to be a positive. I look at the 1, 1, and I think positive. Okay, here's A12, and I get a negative. Oh. A13, and I'm going to get a positive. Well, what is 1 plus 3? Well, that's a 4. 1 plus 2 is a 3. 1 plus 1 is a 2. Oh, what can I do to do that? I don't know. What's this value here? This is a A2, 1. If I take those two numbers and add them together, I'm going to get an odd number. So what I can do is I can replicate this whole matrix by just saying that I'm going to have a negative 1 to the I plus j exponent. And then that would take care of placing all of these things right here. So if I look at this right here, this formula is going to tell me what my C values are. And so it's going to be negative 1 or positive 1 times our submatrix, which is A sub ij, which means you're going to cross out row I and column j, and then take the remaining values for that submatrix. So the determinant is just found by taking that value that's in that spot, multiplied by the value, 1 or negative 1, and then the submatrix that represents it. And we keep on doing that until we're complete with all of them. So we can expand this into matrices that are bigger than 3 by 3. Or you can do it by the jth column. So this is just changing the row stuff to column stuff, essentially. So let's get to a bigger matrix in our next example. So this is a bigger matrix. We want to find the determinant of this one. So you might want to do cofactor expansion along a row or a column that has a lot of zeros. Oh, look at that right there. So we're going to take the 2 and do my crisscross method, cancel everything off. So that's going to cancel off this top row and this row, and I'm going to be left with the rest. So then this is equivalent to the determinant of this matrix that I do have here. And notice that this 2 is the same exact sign because this is in position 1, 1, which means negative 1 to the 2 power. So I'm just going to be applying the same exact number that's in that spot. Now, can I do this again? Oh, look at that. So I'm going to go 2 times my 3 and then reduce this down based upon whatever's left after that because I have another column of zeros besides the 3 to work with. So now you can go ahead and find the determinant of this either by the crisscross method or more cofactor expansion. Look, you can do cofactor expansion along this bottom one and see what you get. So if I do the cofactor expansion along this row 3, I'm going to get a 0. I didn't even write this last 0, and another 0, and then the 3, but I got to change the sign because of the position of that thing, and then I'm going to get crisscross would be negative 1 minus 0. So it's going to be 0 minus 3, which would be negative 18 again. Oh, that's the magic number for today. All right, try the next one. See if you can do that without me and see what you end up with. So pause and try it. Well, we can try this one here. I'm just going to do the crisscross method. So this would be 6 times, if I go down like this would be negative 10. And then this would be 0. And I'm going to get another 0. And then I'm going to go minus. This is also 6 times this. 6 times, oh, that's a 0. Oh, that's a 0. And that's a 0. I got a mess there, but that's 0. Oh, so then this would just be equal to negative 60. All right, right. Do me a favor. Multiply those numbers together and tell me what you do get. Did you try it? 2, 3, 1, 5, negative 2. You're going to get negative 60. That's just the product of the main diagonal. Well, what attribute does this matrix have that the other ones maybe didn't, where we can just go ahead and multiply the main diagonal items together to get our determinant? Well, look at right here. These are all zeros in that triangle. So that would be a triangular matrix. So then this would be zeros either fully below the main diagonal or it could be above. Either one would give us a triangular matrix. When we have a triangular matrix, the determinant of the triangular matrix will just be the product of the terms in the main diagonal. That's it. Wow, cool. So in this lesson, you're going to be able to play around and figure out some things that do happen. What happens to a determinant when we switch 2 rows? Does that change the determinant? Does it keep it the same? Or what does it do? And then also, what happens to the determinant A when you multiply a row by a scalar? Just one row by a scalar. What's going to happen to this? And then there might be some other questions that you can answer by playing around. So conjecture what happens with these, and let's see if we can get some answers for the following class after you do the lesson. Great. 3.1, linear algebra. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day.